Good morning and welcome to my closet. Today I'm going through our bug out bags. It's the day after Hurricane Dorian left our area, and I was just putting some stuff away that I had out for preparation of that specific hurricane. And while I was putting that stuff away and organizing things, I thought, I should make a video, show people what we do to prepare, and also go through some of my things and see if I'm missing anything. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bug out bags, 72-hour kits, make it home bags, whatever you call them. And I have the bags set up with Hurricane Katrina in mind. If you'll remember, and I could actually say Hurricane Dorian as well. Comparing Hurricane Katrina and Dorian as it affected the Bahamas with what we just had here in Florida, there's no comparison, and the mindset when you build a bug out bag should really be for a Katrina mindset. These were built primarily the week before. There's some items that we got after Katrina, but primarily right before Hurricane Irma, with the thought that we might have to evacuate. Because what we had was a historical hurricane that was the largest hurricane in history heading towards us, and we didn't know what it was going to do, so they basically told everybody to prepare to bug out. So we did. So thinking of evacuating 6 people into a shelter, I thought I need to make these packs light with my Katrina mindset, remembering that in Katrina, lots of people were on rooftops, and also in the Bahamas, lots of people were on rooftops. So if we had to become refugees, and incidentally, my husband and my boys were temporarily refugees for about 24 to 36 hours during Hurricane Michael. So it can happen to anybody. My family was just up in, helping in Michael, and they ended up not having any place to go. The hotel that we had booked a room at was actually closed and did not honor a reservation, so they had to live out of their car for 36 hours while they were up helping the people up in the Panhandle. So you want to keep your 72-hour kits or your bug out bags light. For a family of 6, it's really maybe not the best idea, but I think it's the most practical for each member of the family to hold one of the major items that might be needed. For instance, in my husband's bag, we have a first aid kit, and we have only small supplies in the kids' bags, and he also has the food. These survival tabs are lightweight and enough food to feed our family for 72 hours, all 6 of us, for 72 hours. They're packed with all kinds of nutrients to keep us going for that 72 hours. And guess what? For you celiacs out there, it is also gluten-free. And this is the lovely thing that makes me happy. They're good until 2039. So I don't have to keep replenishing those. Now, they aren't milk-free. I'm allergic to dairy, but for the time that I'm just trying to survive, that's not something I'm going to worry about. I wouldn't even worry about gluten either, but it's nice that those are gluten-free. He has an emergency bag in here. I need to replace the flashlight. More first aid stuff. More emergency blankets. There's some lip balm in here. And some deodorant, and let's see what else. I put some maxi pads in there. You never know. On day 2, I go through 1 an hour. There's a poncho. I got an old granola bar from Hurricane Irma. There's some plastic utensils in there, so if I knew that there was another big hurricane coming through here, I would probably stick some more temporary foods in there. Let me show you something else that's really handy that we keep in our bug out bags, and it's these water bottles right here. Reflect back on Katrina and Dorian. Were people able to lug 72 hours worth of clean bottled water up into their attics or onto the rooftops? that's what I asked myself when I was preparing these bug out bags. In an extreme case, would I really want to lug around water? And the answer to that is no, because if I don't have to lug around water, if the conditions are that I don't need one of these, then I'm going to be able to get to my 72-hour stash of water inside my house. But in the case that I have to evacuate, I'm not going to be wanting to lug around 72 hours of water. So I bought these because in Katrina, that was the item that people needed the most, was clean water. And I could use ocean water in this. I could use contaminated river water with this. I could use sewer water if I had to. If I was dying of thirst, then I could do that. Okay, in my bag here, I've got some stuff that girls need that guys don't. And I need a tripod. My tripod is actually way up high where I can't reach it. My son was packing stuff away and I can't get to it. Okay, I'm going to use my mouth. Oh, backpack. Okay, I have a weather radio. So my husband holds the first aid kit. I hold the weather radio because I'm a weather bug. I have another 72-hour kit. I have another poncho, another water bottle, flashlight. And guess what? Another bottle of these tabs, deodorant, toothbrush. My husband also has deodorant and a toothbrush in his. There's not a whole lot more we're going to care about if we're sitting in our attic and the ocean is at level with our attic floor. Some sunblock. This is a solar powered and crank powered weather radio. And then the kids have, well, this one has my husband's water bottle in it. I wondered where that went. Okay, the kids have just some basic hygiene items. And also, I wanted to make sure they had some shoes, just in case we had to evacuate while they were asleep. So they all have water shoes in their bags. So it's very simple. Like I said, I want to keep it lightweight, and water is the most important thing. So that's how I address that. And like, if I knew that Dorian was going to head towards me and do a Bahamas thing to me, or if I was going to end up having to go to a shelter, then I would in advance, I'd go and get some granola bars, some applesauce, some snacks to stick in the bags to make things a little bit more, fill up their tummies a little bit more. Now, if you're not having to leave and you have stuff that you need to survive here at home, these are other items that I have. Now, the styrofoam containers. Okay, the one thing that I hate the most about hurricane prep are the long lines that make the stores like Christmas Eve, where everybody's in line for bottled water. And I'm sorry, I don't want to make this sound like I'm holier than thou or anything like that, because I also rush to the store to get bottled water. For some reason, it's a comfort thing for us, I guess. I don't know. But I think people forget that they have a tap. And they get a little bit testy at the stores if the water runs out. Like, there's no more water on the planet. But we all have a tap, right? So if you're at the store and you are there to get water, and you don't want to stand in line, which I don't want to, or the water is scarce, or if they're only letting you buy 2 packs like they did 3 days before Dorian got here, at Publix, they were only letting you buy 2 packs, and then the government's telling you to have 7 days worth of water. Well, there are a lot of different ways to store water, and you can use your tap water. So I bought these styrofoam containers, and my plan was to fill up Ziploc bags with water, double bag them so they don't leak, and stick them in the freezer. And then after they were frozen, on the day that our power were to go out, like it did with Irma, stick them in these styrofoam containers. So that gives you a little bit more refrigeration power for a couple more days. You could put your apples or even yogurt or snacks or whatever that you want to keep cool. And as they are defrosting, then you're providing yourself with tap water that you're used to drinking. So I have 3 of these, and filling up 3 of these would have been good enough for us, enough water for at least 2 days. Another idea is to do the same thing, double ziplock your bags full of water and stick them in the freezer. And those will keep your freezer cool long enough for 3 days to keep your refrigerator cool, even if your power goes out. And we did that with Irma, and we kept our food cold for 72 hours after our power went out. It worked wonderfully. So you have those bags. So that's more water. You could fill up pitchers. You could fill up your bathtub and use those bottles right there. There's lots of ways that you can store water without it becoming too much of a hassle. And sure, go ahead and, get some bags of ice and get some bottled water too. Get, like during the year, if there's a BOGO sale on apple juice or cranberry juice, I'll buy some of those too. I buy cranberry juice because what if somebody gets a bladder infection? Then you can use that. I also bought some coconut water to help with, electrolyte replacement, Gatorade. Have a variety and make it more fun for the kids. Now I'm going to show you what's inside these. So now during the year, so these aren't in my way now during the year, and I can get them back out when I need them for water. I can use these to store other hurricane supplies. So in this one I have masks. I actually have a respirator mask somewhere that blocks chemicals and stuff I need to put back in here. And then I have these garbage bags that are labeled. This is all lighting stuff. And I want to tell you, my favorite lighting option are these LED candles from Dollar Tree. We use these, like we went camping at Fort Wilderness, and instead of flashlights, I use these. They twist on and twist off. They take 2 AAA batteries, and I kid you not, I still have one sitting in my bathroom that has been on continuously for the last 6 months and has not run out of light yet. These do not, if you use a good battery, like a good Duracell, these do not run out of light, even if you forget to turn them off. These are the best. I also bought a whole bunch of flashlights. On Amazon, one of those big packs of LED flashlights. And then I bought these. You can hang them from your chandelier in the kitchen. So your power goes out and you want to play games while the power's out, hang these over your table on your chandelier. And these are also LED. I haven't tested to see how long these last. And then you got an SOS strobe light there too. That's pretty cool. So I have several of those. I also have, this was my husband's request, is headlamps. When you're out cooking at night and there's no light, there's no light pollution or anything. You can put these on your head and then you have your hands free while you're cooking your dinner at night. Oops, I guess I better turn that off. Okay, so I have a few of these with there's an SOS light on that too, with headband on it. Okay, so I have respirators, lights, fuel. We cook our food in a volcano with briquettes when our power's out, and so you need lighter fluid, briquettes, and some kindling, which we just use stuff from the garden, like mulch or something like that, or cardboard. You can get all those Amazon boxes sit in your garage, tear them up and use the cardboard. I have a lot of these. We go through a lot of these, so I made sure I had a lot of these. And then I have long-handled matches. Those are in the kitchen. And short matches. Just lots of different ways to light things, because you never know So that's that. And then I just mark this thing. And if you put the lid upside down, you can stack them one on top of each other. Also in the closet here, we have, this is Florida. If you have a cockroach problem, just put a little boric acid on the ground. It takes care of them, keeps them out of your house. Okay, and this one I have emergency blankets. I probably have way too many emergency blankets. Wipes. When my boys and my husband were helping out with the relief efforts at Michael, this was the most appreciated item. A couple of my sons were just depressed and sad, you know, because remember, they were without any place to sleep. They ended up sleeping in their car for living out of the car for 36 hours. And when they discovered that I'd packed wipes towards the end of the trip, their whole demeanor changed. They were so appreciative of these. They couldn't get to the bathroom to wash their face, so, you know, the wipes, amazing. So, okay, in here I think I have some more bug out stuff. Let's see, what do I have? Oh, this is just extra stuff that was left over from Irma, just extra supplies, pens, Epsom salts, washcloth. And then I have ponchos. And we use the ponchos all the time. So I'm going to be putting this storage box on the top because we use these every time we go to Disney. So that's what is in here. And then if you have a bad enough hurricane to turn off your power, unless you have a power generator, you probably are not going to have internet. You might not even have 4G. We didn't. For 3 days, we didn't have any kind of contact with the outside world. Couldn't even use our cell phones. So I think I'll take the wipes out and put them in this one. There. So, what was I trying to say? No contact with the outside world. Oh, I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, now I know. Alternative power. Okay, you might not be able to get internet, but you're still going to want to be able to power laptops. Hold on, I got to put the phone down for a sec. You're still going to want to... Sorry. You're still going to want to power laptops and cell phones. And during Irma, that was our shortcoming, was not having anything to really power. We had power banks that we had charged up ahead of time, the little ones, you know, that you get at Walmart or whatever, and those quickly ran out. We powered our cell phones with our laptops, and those quickly ran out, so we ended up having to resort to our car to power up our cell phones and our laptops. But Mike from Mike's Weather Page suggested this product right here. So we got this one for Dorian. It has USB ports right here. And you can charge a C cell phone and a mini USB. Mini USB with this. You can power up your laptop, charge your laptop with this. And you charge this up with an adapter that plugs in here, and it takes about 6 hours to charge it up. That tells you if it's got enough power, so you can keep checking that. Okay, so now I haven't used this yet, but there's a lot of stuff that goes with this that you'll want to read up on Amazon. Just look this up on Amazon. It cost about $100 to $115. We had, before Irma, we had something that did exactly the same thing as this, and it was as big as my sewing machine and as heavy as my sewing machine. But things have gotten so much more better. This thing is so lightweight, and so next week if my family has to go up to South Carolina to help with reclamation, they can take this with them and keep their cell phones charged up. And then it has also light a light source, an SOS message. SOS, see that? That's what that's all about there. So we have that. And then we also have, which is not in this room, but we have a solar power charger that unfolds, and you can put it, how do I turn this off? I gotta still read the instructions. But anyway, they have a solar power, we have a solar power panel that you can open up and stick your cell phones and charge it up that way. Now, why is that so helpful? Oh, okay, it powers itself off. It's helpful because anybody that's been through a major hurricane will know that the hurricane sucks up every bit of water in the air, and you'll have 3 to 4 or 5 days of oppressive heat and sun with no more rain and no more clouds. So you've got a lot of solar power after a hurricane. And if your power goes out, that's a very good way to power up your cell phones. So that's all I have to show you. I think it's pretty simple. It's just not too much, you know. There's a plan to stay home, things to use when we're home, and a plan to bug out if we need to. And I'm sure this is not perfect, but you know, and I've built it over time. I didn't just go out and spend a whole bunch of money to get ready. I've been building this up actually since Hurricane Katrina, and I think any victim would tell you that any preparation is better than none. And especially just remember the water. That's, I think, is the most important thing. And I think that's all I have to share with you. Oh, except for my little buggy right here. You see the boric acid actually does work. That's going to be another video. When you live in the land of palmetto bugs, it is a reality. So the boric acid works, and that will be something I will talk about on another day. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you, and have a good day.